Hello students, my name is Pragati Misra and today I am going to discuss a very important theorem of the abstract algebra, that is, if each element of a group except the identity element of a group is of order 2, then the group is abelian. It is saying that if every element of the group is of order 2 except the identity, because we know that the order of the identity is always 1 in any group, then the group is abelian. That is, in that case our given group must be abelian. Now suppose I have taken a group such that a square is equal to identity for all a belongs to G. That is, the order of every element of the group G is 2 except identity, because identity is of order 1. Now let two elements, that is A and B, belongs to G, which are arbitrary element of the group G, and if I apply the closure property of the group over these two elements, then I get A dot B belongs to G, and this is true for by closure property. And if this element belongs to G, then it will satisfy this condition, because the condition in the group is provided that every element is of order 2, and if it is belonging to G, then its order must be 2. So if we take power 2 of these elements, then we will get identity, and we can write this AB square as AB into AB is equal to identity. Now we will take pre-multiplication by A inverse on both sides. So if we take pre-multiplication, this becomes A inverse AB into AB is equal to A inverse into identity, which becomes A inverse again, because if we multiply A inverse by identity element, then we get the same element, so it becomes A inverse. And if we apply associative law over here, we get A inverse into A, which is equal to identity, into B into AB, and this becomes A inverse. Now this becomes identity, and if we multiply any element with identity, we get the same element, so the remaining elements are B dot AB is equal to A inverse. Now again we take pre-multiplication by B inverse on both sides, then we get B inverse B dot AB is equal to B inverse A inverse. This is obtained after taking the pre-multiplication by B inverse. So this becomes identity, and when we multiply identity by some element of G, we get again the same element, so it becomes A dot B, which is equal to B inverse A inverse. Now according to the condition of given group, each element is of order 2, and we have taken A and B both belongs to the group G, then A square is equal to identity and B square is equal to identity. Since we know that each element of the group G is of order 2 except the identity element, so if we take the power 2 of these two elements, then this gives identity, because both of these two elements belongs to the group G. So we can write A is equal to A inverse and B is equal to B inverse. This is obtained by taking the pre-multiplication by A inverse again. So it becomes A inverse into identity becomes A inverse, and when we multiply A inverse with A square, one A get mixed with A inverse and it becomes identity, and one A remained, and when A is multiplied with identity, it gives me again A. And similarly we can do for B also. So if we can put now B inverse is equal to B and A inverse is equal to A in our equation 1. So after putting, we can write here from 1, AB is equal to, this becomes B, this becomes A. So AB is equal to BA, and this is true for all AB belongs to G. So we have taken a group in which every element is of order 2 except the identity element, and we got the condition of commutative abelian group. So in this way we can say that if every element of the group G is of order 2, then that group must be an abelian group. And this is very important theorem to tackle the given group, that whether the given group is abelian or not. So remember this theorem always. Okay, now I am going to take one example related with this theorem. I will take one group in which every element is of order 2, and I will show that that group must be an abelian group. So our example is U8. U8 contains 4 elements 1, 3, 5, 7. But before discussing this group, firstly we will discuss what is UN group. UN, I told you in my previous lecture about the generators of the group Zn. So what are the generators of Zn? These are those elements of the Zn whose GCD with the order of the group is 1. For example, if I take Z6, suppose I am taking G as Z6, then what are the generators of 6? In order to find the generators of Z6, you have to see those elements of Z6 which are relatively prime to 6. So what are the elements which are relatively prime to 6? 1, 5. Only 2 elements are here which are relatively prime to 6, from 1 to 6. So you can see there are 2 generators of this group. In this way we can determine the element of U8. Now N is 8 here. And now if we see what are the elements which are relatively prime to 8, so they are 1, 3, 5, 7. So only 4 elements are present in this group. So now we have to find that what are the order of this group, what are the order of the element in this group. So in order to find the order of the element, we know that this is identity. So order of identity is always 1. We know about it. And if we take our next element, that is 3. Then what is the order of 3? In order to find the order of 3, since this is a multiplicative group, so we have to take the power, and whatever the power is, that will be order of the element. So if I take 3, then 3 raised to power 1 is 3. So this cannot be this cannot be order of the element because it is giving me 3. I need identity. So I will take 3 square. If I take 3 square, then this becomes 9. And since I am trying to find the order of the group, and I have taken U8 as the group, which is the subgroup of generally Zn, then I have to take 9 modulo 8. And what is the remainder when I divide 8 by 9? I'll get 1. So I'm getting identity. When I have taken power 2 over the element 3, then I'm getting identity. It means that order of 3 is 2. Similarly, if I do for third element of the group, that is 5, then order of 5 is equal to, I will do the same. 5 raised to power 1 is 5. So this cannot be order of the element. Now I will take the square of this element. If I square the element, then I will get 25. And 25 modulo 8 again gives me 1. So again I got identity. So order of 5 is 2 again. Now I will see the last element of this group, which is 7. Order of 7. What is that? Now I will do again the same work. 7 raised to power 1 is 7. That cannot be the identity. So I will take the square of this element. I will get 49. 49 modulo 8 sorry, gives me 1 again, because this is 48, and when we divide 49 by 8, I will get 1. Okay, so again I am getting identity. So what we get after taking the square of this element, I am getting identity. So order of this element is 2, because I told you that cyclic groups elements are of form a raised to power n, such that n is coming from the set of integers. Cyclic groups are of this form when we take the group with respect to the multiplication. So this was also multiplicative group, and n becomes the order of this particular element a. So in this case, order of 7 is 2, order of 5 is 2, order of 3 is 2. Our previous theorem was saying that except the identity element, if each element is of order 2, then that group must be an abelian. Now you can check by yourself that this group is an abelian group, and this is your homework. Now we are getting that every element is of order 2, so we can say that U8 is an abelian group. But remember, this is not a cyclic group. I told you about a theorem that every cyclic group is abelian, but the converse need not be true, and this is the counter example for that. So remember it always. This is very important lecture. So in this way we can say that every abelian group need not be cyclic. Every abelian group need not be cyclic. So I hope you like today's video, And if you are liking my content, please subscribe my channel. Thank you.